I can't even speak that. Over the shoulder satchels. We're dealing with somebody who is a fucking professional. This person is very serious about their fucking tequila.
I
Dude,
like how serious it is. It's almost classy, but it's almost like, wow, dude, you have a fucking problem if you have created a custom over-the-shoulder satchel for your tequila
hold,
bottle.
yeah, no. But hold on a second. So I remember I came across this. Is it fucking Two Chains or some shit like that? It's fucking
Probably he does some
it.
crazy stuff.
Um, is it? Let me see.
I'm actually renaming my fantasy
Yeah.
team to
Okay.
over-the-shoulder satchel right now.
Over the shoulder. I like it. Okay. So, Two Chain drinks fucking $450,000 tequila.
I think I saw that it was like recommended to me on YouTube. I was like,
Yeah.
even YouTube knows that I love tequila.
Yeah, but this is like, oh my God. Okay, let me see.
How
Where's the
how can it even be that expensive? I like it has to have gold flakes in it. I mean, that's just got to drive the price up.
Well, let me take a look. Like so, for instance, like this one that he's showing him right now, it's a fucking, bottle, fucking crazy looking bottle, and the top of the bottle or the cap, he's saying is a piece of amber that's 222, well, sorry, 22 million years old.
Jesus, it's from the set of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, seriously, dude. So it's like, well, okay, first of all, like at least 100,000 of this price is going to the fucking cap. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, dude, but $450,000 fucking tequila, and I bet you, bro, it tastes like I don't
I
know.
bet it tastes like $45 tequila.
That would be my question. I want to know. I want them to grab Average Joe, myself, and
My name's Brian, but you can call me Average
you can
Joe.
call me Average Joe. Have them come on in and give me like the okay, Brian. We are going to give you the blind tasters test.
These Russian
Well,
people.
actually, yeah, none of them are Russian. They all look like they're fucking from like Central America. Uh, yeah, Arturo is one of their fucking names, and Juan is the other. So,
Yes.
but let's just say that fucking Russian is the only accent that I can like really do. Maybe I need to smoke some more, and then I can do accent. Um, but anyway, football happens like too, so I guess maybe we should talk about that
Yeah,
rather
I
than.
guess we should, but I mean
I don't,
that's a good little intro right there, I
well,
think.
Two Chains drinking $450,000 tequila. That's
Dude, yeah. I mean, over the shoulder satchel, it just has a nice ring to it. I don't know. There's
would
something
you
about
keep
it.
your $450,000 tequila in your over the shoulder satchel, or would it never leave the house?
I don't think that could leave the house. I feel like someone's gonna kill me if I wear
So, what would be an acceptable price to be put into the satchel?
I would think, you just your everyday drinking tequila.
No, no, not every day. No. If you're bringing around a bottle of Jose, that better be in nothing but your fucking fist. All right, that doesn't deserve to be anywhere else. But I don't think you can put like a thing of Jose.
Okay, so yeah, I guess your everyday drinking tequila is in your hand, and then in the satchel, yeah, I guess you put something special in there. Maybe something with like a little story behind it. It doesn't have to be
Sorry.
$450,000, but maybe it's a nice it's got a nice conversation and story to it.
Well, as far as stories are concerned, what do you think is the most expensive tequila that you've ever purchased or drank?
That's a good question.
Oh,
I don't think it's been much over the like $100 range.
oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. That's
And
not bad.
it's just I don't know, it's weird, man. Like I some of the more expensive stuff I had has been good, but I'm like I still like some of the cheaper stuff better. Like I don't know. Like I've had some $20 bottles that I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This is super smooth. Actually, one of the best tequilas just in general that I've had, Nick actually got it for me for my birthday a couple years ago. We had a little barbecue, and it's I think it's called Casamigos. It's George Clooney's tequila brand that he's created or whatever. You can find it pretty much at most places. It's like 35, $40, but
You
we
got it at the wedding.
oh yeah. And like, dude, we finished the whole bottle like between the group of people that was there, and it was just like the smoothest shot, like one of the smoothest shots I've ever had. So I'm like, I don't need $100 bottles. Like that's crazy.
Who needs $100 bottles? You could have Clooney tequila.
Dude, I could just be drinking a glass of Clooney over here.
Set me up a glass of Clooney, please.
Just a little bit of Clooney in my over the shoulder. I can't even remember what it is anymore. I'm lost.
All right. I'll tell you what, Sean. Do me a favor. In your over the shoulder satchel,
There we go.
which I'm guessing is not just for tequila, but all types of Indiana Jones type of shit.
Probably like some candy.
Yeah, reach on in there and pull out the picks, the last picks that we did from week 10.
All right. But if I do that, I need you to pull up the scoreboard from week 10 so we can actually talk about football.
I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm pulling the mic out like a goddamn lounge singer. Coughing straight on in. Is there any difference with how I sound?
A little, dare I say, sexier?
That's wonderful.
Okay, now it sounds way worse.
Perfect. All right. I do
Also,
have.
hey, what's up, everybody? Fucking week 12. What up, fantasy football?
I
I
don't
think
know.
maybe just in
Are there,
case people didn't
are
know
there other people
what
with this?
what year it is or what week it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, if you guys haven't figured it out, Sean and I just pretty much do this because we like to hear each other talk. So we appreciate you stopping on by. We did have a podcast a couple weeks ago. We did make some picks. Now, I actually really don't remember at all, looking at the scores right now, what our picks were.
Okay, well, I like this. So you know what the scores are. I have no idea what the scores are. I have the picks. You have no idea what the picks are. So that let's roll with that. It'll be a surprise for both of us.
What
Which
do I go first or do you go first?
let's go. Okay, you just call out a matchup, whatever is first on your list.
Uh, well, first on my list is me and
Oh
Nick.
yeah, I guess that's true.
And I do remember what my pick was because I'm pretty sure I picked against myself and
Yeah.
picked for Nick.
Yeah, we swept it. I think this I kind of oh no, we swept all the picks except for one matchup. So this is one where you and I swept it. We swept it for Nick.
Okay, so the final score was 160.7 to 107.5. So a bit of a stomping. I stopped Nick earlier in the year, and he answered right back the next time we played. So
Damn. Okay. So 1 for 1 on the picks so
one
far.
for one on the picks. We both got that one. Let's go with how about your match I have on my list. Don't know where I ended up picking. I may have ended up picking for Will. Did we sweep it for Will?
This is the one we did not sweep. You
Oh, this
did.
is
You
the one
picked
we
Will, and I picked myself. Which why the fuck would I pick myself? That's so stupid.
That's actually kind of against your norm.
Yeah, it's very
Like,
much
you
against
usually-
my voodoo philosophy.
Yeah. So, well, and you voodooed yourself
I
because
did. Wow, that really bit me in the ass.
as far as the score is concerned, this was the highest score of the week. Will ended up getting 204.5, whereas you came up with 138.
Well, we had a little side note on this,
Oh,
and
perfect. Was
it
this
came
my,
from you. It was Brian's certified close matchup of the week. It was there were some other guarantees and other things in different matchups, but you were
Damn it. Okay,
way
so
off on that one.
well, yes. I mean, I don't know if it's the worst out of all of them. They're actually, I don't know.
Some big blowout matchups.
It's just they're like this was a week of blowouts actually. There was not a single close matchup. Actually, looking this up
That's
and down
crazy.
the board, not a single one. Every single one was a blowout.
Damn. All right, which one do you want to go to next?
Well, this would be let's do Misha and Nate.
Okay. So we swept this one, and it was also we'll get into the score. So we swept it for Nate, actually.
Fuck!
Did we get
Dude.
it wrong?
Oh, we got it wrong. Like I
Oh.
said, they're all blowouts.
Oh my! Well, I had this one pegged as Sean's whiskey whistle closest matchup of the week.
Actually, Sean. Actually,
Was it actually the closest?
It may be. We're gonna have to. So let's swing back to this one because we're gonna have to do number count crunching
Okay.
in order to find that. So it's gonna take time. So let's just move on to. So okay. So we all picked Nate. So we got that wrong.
Got it
Final
wrong.
score was Misha was 111.9. Nate ended up getting 89.7.
Got it.
Let's go to Phil and Chris,
All right.
and then we'll
Nope.
come back to the
Yeah.
closest.
Okay, so we swept it for Phil.
We all got it right.
Got it right. There was a little side note on this one.
What was this?
This was sorry, I just spit all over the place. This was Brian's nipple guarantee most interesting because the QBs were playing each other's defenses. I don't even know if you can say that's right or wrong, actually.
Well, I don't know if the matchup was interesting or not. It didn't. It didn't necessarily go well for Chris. So let's just get into the final score. Final score was 124.7 versus 87.2. And I
Okay.
would actually say the real story of this matchup was just the fact that, you know, Phil had Aaron Rodgers going against the Carolina defense. Now, Aaron Rodgers didn't do shit, but that had nothing to do with the Carolina defense because fucking Aaron Jones just did all the fucking
Oh,
work.
that's right.
So Aaron Rodgers only got 10. Um, Tannehill was going up against the KC defense, and he actually had a good game. I mean, it was 35-32, and I'm pretty sure they beat Kansas City. So,
Yeah.
that was and Kansas City's defense didn't put up much. So I don't think that was actually the story at all. So regardless of whatever ever the nipples like read into the future, it wasn't that. What ended up happening was Chris just did not get performance from any supporting role player. He only had two other people in double digits besides Ryan Tannehill. That was Godwin at 11.9 and Jack Doyle at 12.7.
Yikes.
Everybody else was underneath 10.
That's that's brutal.
Yeah, so that's not gonna win you any games. So the nipple guarantee means fucking nothing.
I spit
And
on your
then
nipple guarantee.
yeah, well you might as well. The last matchup that we got going on is John and
Joey.
Joey,
So we actually swept this for John, and I think that
and
was a
we
good
got
call.
it right.
Yeah.
Yes, we did, and it was a spanking. 189 to 110.2.
Wow.
Cooper Cup, Goose.
That was
I
the
don't. I
zero.
Yep.
He was not injured. He played the whole game.
Tyler Lockett had a very quiet game. Russell had a very quiet game. This was the game against fucking SF.
Oh, and Lockett got injured in that game.
Oh, well, there you go. That's 5.2. That's all he came away with. But even still, like this was just a fantastic game for John. Oh my God, Amari Cooper, 30 fucking points. San Francisco defense, 25. Jarvis Landry, 22. Melvin Gordon, 21. Dalvin Cook, 29. Jameis, 21. Hunter
Jesus.
Henry, 12. Alvin Kamara, 13. Yeah, he only had one, or sorry, two, Metcalf and Tyrell Williams under 10. Other than that,
Yeah.
they were nice monsters. Way to go.
Yeah. Damn, yeah. And big one against the league leader with Joey there. So that's a big win.
Okay, so let's quickly go into this. Now, I am pretty sure that this we will actually end up being
Yeah,
right.
there was a 24-point differential in the in
Yeah.
Misha and Nate's matchup.
Oh, I had 22, but
I
okay.
was just doing quick math on my phone calculator when you were saying I could have typed in the wrong numbers, but something around there.
Okay, yeah. So let's say 22, 24 point differential. Um, what was the other one? What was mine?
Yours was mine versus Will. I don't think that was very close at all.
No, it wasn't. But I want to see how bad it was and if it was the worst. Because it definitely wasn't
Oh,
24. 66. That's actually not the worst. Okay, I
okay.
wasn't.
So you didn't totally
I was actually
shit
that
the
that
bed there.
that was like the second or the third closest matchup. Not close by much, but okay, I'll take it. Whatever. Okay, we've gone through this, you guys. we're not always. How did we do in our picks this week?
Not as good as usual. We had a couple weeks there where like one of us would get all of them, or we were both just yeah. We had that one week where we finally both got every single matchup right. This one we kind of got like 3 out of 5 ish. So still, I mean, that's better than just our historical averages, I would say.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
getting we're getting better at this.
There were. It's it's coming along. I feel we are starting to learn our teams. We're starting to start starting to learn how it goes, and it only took us the entire season to do it. Um, and speaking of which, we had our matchups last week.
Yeah, week 11. Yeah, some big matchups in there. A few blowouts in there. One pretty close matchup, but I mean some interesting things that will be kind of good to go through because it's really shaping up where the standings are right now. And
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean week 11. I mean that's 3 weeks left in the season. Like critical matchups where some people, the Nates and the Chris's of the world are just they need a win to stay alive. And then you've got some of the folks like me and you. Maybe you could throw Misha in there too, where we're kind of clawing away at the last like 1 or 2 playoff spots. So yeah, it's getting into some serious implications now. So it'd be good to go through some of these.
yeah, I know, and we can definitely get into like the standings and stuff, and just sort of how everything landed after this sort of week fell. I know we didn't really go into picks because we didn't have a podcast last week, but as far as the matchups, was there? I mean, are you looking at the scores right now?
Yeah, I've got the matchup scores here, just kind of reminding myself who played who, and who are some of the big matchups. Like I think a really big matchup was you and
It was
Phil.
huge. It
Like
was
you
such a huge
guys
matchup.
both needed a win so badly, and it was just an absolute crushing for you. I mean, why don't we just start there? I mean, Phil's
That's
not going
fine.
to like it, but yeah, we can at least let's get a little sense of what happened because you were the top scorer of the week. So congratulations, my friend.
Thank
That's
you.
what is that the third time this year,
Believe so.
dude? Wait, was it you had never won
I had
one of the top
no
scorers until this
since
year?
no since because when I was commissioner, that was my change. That was
Yeah,
the one thing that I wanted to do, and we tried it. It seemed like everybody liked it. So,
and that was
but
last year was the first year we did that, right?
to 2 years ago,
Or was it 2 years
because Joe,
ago?
yeah, because Joey won, and then he
Oh, and
carried it
he
over.
kept it. Yeah. Okay. So
This is
yeah,
the third year
this is
we've
the
done.
third year, and now you're in the third year, and you're getting it.
Finally won it. So thank you, fantasy gods. Like that was helpful. I could use a few more of those, or because Jesus, it's getting down to the wire, and points now are going to start to matter. But I will say that Chris ended up coming on over. We were gonna, chill out, watch some of the games, and it just started going well, like kind of right away. I can't remember if it was John Brown was first or DJ was first, but already early in the morning, the touchdowns started to rain
Yeah, I
in.
think that was early. Yeah, when Chark was starting to get in, because I remember I was like just settling in and watching some games, and already Chark just was like busting one off, and I was like, oh, dude, Brian's stoked about this. I think I texted you.
Might have. I'm not sure. It was a little bit of a when you're in the haze of amazing, just being amazed that your
Oh
team
yeah.
is actually showing on up. One that I will say, dude, the one that fucking threw me for a loop, I was so just over the moon happy, was Randall Cobb. That was a waiver fucking last minute ad, fucking plug on in. I didn't have Alshon, so it was just like shit. I'm just starting everybody I have. Fuck, I already had lost Evan Ingram, because had been injured the week before, and now he was on a bye. So I was already stuck with Greg Olson in my tight end position, and I needed to fill that flex spot. And Randall Cobb ended up
Yeah,
having
man. What a
another really good
huge
game.
fill in right there. Jesus.
Yeah, I think it was a at least another 100. Yeah, 4 catches, 115, and a touchdown.
Massive.
That helped a lot. But John Brown was
Woo!
fucking phenomenal. Um,
33.5, John Brown.
so
Dear
sorry I
God.
didn't start Josh Allen sitting on my bench. I wouldn't have over Drew, but at the same time, wow, he almost put up 40 points.
Yeah, damn.
Drew himself actually had a pretty fucking decent game. I think he threw at least 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. Yeah,
No picks.
27 points. I
Yeah,
mean,
not too
just
bad.
up and down your lineup. I mean, aside from Sammy Watkins throwing up a four,
Yeah, and that was on
like,
Monday night.
and that was Monday night. You didn't even care at that point at all. But like
Yeah,
everybody came to play.
it was a relief. It was nice to finally see like every single person showing on up. Obviously, I didn't have Aaron Jones and didn't have Evan Ingram. But I mean, dude, I was like, I also got, not, I mean, I had, yeah, a good performance, but dude, Phil did not have people show up that needed to.
Yeah,
Um,
some tough ones there. I mean, the Tyreek getting that early injury, and then
yeah, it was
Robert Woods just mysteriously had some personal family issues and just didn't play like that. That definitely hurts.
Yeah, dude, I mean, and other than that, like I guess Ronald Jones, I'm not sure what. I didn't watch too much of that game. Yeah, he
Yeah, that
only
was a
rushed 4 times.
disappointment because Tampa Bay got down early, like because Jameis kept throwing picks,
Yep.
and they just really abandoned a lot of the run game.
So that's kind of unfortunate. But Marvin Jones had a good game. Marlon Mack, dude. I mean, Phil does have
He
such a
was
good
having his
team.
game of the season, and then he gets a brutal injury.
Yeah,
So I mean, like Phil had some good pieces, but
yeah. The Friday,
I
that's right,
mean,
right.
couple goose eggs that are just absolute cripplers, and some weeks, honestly, 111, like he would have beat. I think he would have beat me. He would have beat Chris. Like he
He
might
would have
have
been.
beat a
He
few
would have been three.
people.
Yeah, he would have been beating 3 people.
So it's not like his team just shit the bed.
I'm sorry, 4 people.
Yeah, having those zeros hurt, but you're going up against the top scorer of the week, and like you said, it was early on. It was pretty clear you were trajecting to be the high scorer of the week.
It was a good week,
Is
and like
trajecting a word?
no, but maybe it is. I don't know. It sounds good, so we're gonna leave it in. Um, I will say, but just like you said, this was a big matchup. We were both 4-6. Like I just need to fucking get wins in order to get back into this.
And
So
not only did you get a win, but like you said, putting up that 191.9 points, like that's impactful, man. Like I mean,
it,
we'll get into the
we
standings, but
will, but
oh,
that helped.
that
That
hurts
helped a
me.
lot.
Hurts me a lot. That's not what I wanted to see.
Well, I mean, I think the because of the way, and when we talk about it, the way the records are shaking on out, like it's definitely going to come down to the points. Like it's always nice to get those wins, but at the same time, now it's not just about the win. Now it's also about making sure that you get as many points as you can. Try to get that placement up. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Looking at, I mean, I guess if we're talking about points, we can go to your matchup with you and Chris.
Yeah,
It's
talk about not a
definitely
lot of points.
not, yeah, the like one of the lower scoring matchups of the week. And poor Chris, like, dude, Kyle Allen with fucking however many interceptions. Uh, it was not a
Yeah,
good week. Juju went down.
yeah. It started pretty early because him and Nick made that trade. So
Hmm.
he traded away Odell, and I
Yep,
mean I think Odell had like a
9, I think.
average like whatever
Yeah,
game, but so he picked up Terry McLaurin and Devin Singletary, and neither of those guys really did much for him. And like Juju got injured. That Brian Hill running back on Atlanta was like the big waiver pickup, like number one waiver pickup the week before, or that week, and he just dropped a big old stink on it too.
Yeah.
So there's nobody other than Zach Ertz coming out. Like, I mean, he didn't have. Oh, and then Godwin had
Thank
13.
God,
So
man.
other than
13.
that,
Yeah.
nobody else was even in double digits.
No, dude. 79.1. That
When I saw
hurts.
Kyle Allen, and that was early on too. Kyle Allen was throwing all these ints. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, I was feeling a lot just
You're,
better and
you're
better
you're getting a
seeing
little bit of a
that.
smile on your face, like, oh, this
Just
is feeling
knowing,
good.
like, man, I need this shit because, I mean, I had a few good performances, and again, it's the way that my team seems to be. Of
Oh,
it's Patrick
yeah.
Mahomes, it's Christian McCaffrey, and it's like
Mhm.
one of my receivers, whether it's Mike Evans or Stephon Diggs. Like those are the only guy. Like it's only a handful of people that'll bust it out huge. And there's a lot. I have a lot of troubles, on the lower half of my lineup, just week in, week out.
I don't think it even fucking matters. Let me just read this. Let me just read this really quick. This just makes my stomach churn.
Are you looking at McCaffrey's stats?
Other than week two, where he had the 6.8, the shitty game
Oh
against
yeah.
Tampa, 41, 28, 31, 47, 20, 27, 37, 25, and 28.
I mean, it's he's matchup proof. Like
That's
it's amazing
disgusting.
where a game where Kyle Allen throws four interceptions and they're getting blown out, he still manages to get 28.4 points as a
Yeah,
running back. Like most
yeah.
running backs will just they're not going to get used anymore. But he had fucking 11 catches for over
A
100
lot, dude,
yards.
dude, dude, dude. It's so fucking
He had
crazy, and
no
that was
he got
definitely
dude, he scored 30 points and zero touchdowns. Almost 30
no
points.
touchdowns.
No
Yeah,
touchdowns.
so it was 70 yards rushing. He's got the 11 catches, which in our league means a lot, and that's actually I'm pretty sure his best. Obviously, it's his best game as
Receiving
far as
output.
like receiving output. Yeah, no touchdowns, but the 11 he's had two games where he got 10 receptions. But other than that, it's twos, threes, fours, and maybe a couple sixes. But dude, that was
It's
amazing.
insane. It's amazing
And
how consistent he is.
well, and I will say another trade that I mean, it's an up and down. Like he's just an up and down player, but when he hits, it's a boom hit. Like, dude, Stephon Diggs, like that's the kind of
Yeah, I mean, I think I got Diggs. I can't remember if it was week 5.
it
I
was an
think
early trade.
it was either week 4. I think it was week 4. That was the first week that Nick and I, like, I got 15 for Diggs and he got like 16 for Chris Carson, and we were like, oh, okay, like looking good. And then Diggs has his 6.7, but then it was just like 42, 20, 18. But then he had two really bad weeks.
Any back games, yeah.
But then he came back this with 23 this week. So, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with what I've gotten from Diggs because he's had big enough games that really helped me get some W's.
Yeah. And I will say you're getting a couple people back this week, right? Like Golden Tate's going to be coming back.
Yeah, Golden Tate's coming back, so I do need that. But you son of a bitch, you don't have to worry about Mahomes.
No, I don't.
Ooh, and there's somebody else, but anyways, yeah, that's a nice little one for you there. But
It is.
yeah, and then I've still got AJ Green, which every moment that goes by looks less and less likely that he's even going to play a single snap this year, and it's just like, but I can't drop him until I hear for sure that he's done for the season.
I hate fantasy football. I'm just going to say that.
I appreciate you saying that right at that moment.
Yeah, dude. I know exactly what you mean. It's like what are you supposed to do? Like he's got no trade value, but he is valuable in some way.
Yeah,
Look,
what if I
you
drop
drop
him?
him
What if I
some,
drop him
you
now
drop
and
him
they're like, "Oh, he's gonna come back for the last game of the season," and I can't pick him back up, and it's
unless
I took away a single bench spot for the entire year for nothing.
yeah, exactly. It's the whole reason I held on to Le'Veon Bell for so long. It's just like fuck, you didn't know until you knew.
Yeah, at this
Other than
point,
that, what
I
are you
think
supposed
I
to do?
remember you saying it last year with Le'Veon Bell is if I'm going down on this ship with him.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, or so if I'm going down, dude, I'm taking him fucking with me. That son of a fucking bitch. Like, dude, that's just it. You like misery loves company, and I'm taking my first rounder with me. You fucker, you fucked it. What was that thing from the Mighty Ducks? You lose this game, and nobody makes the team next year. Well, I lied about that. He definitely made the team next year. But even still, dude, back to the game itself.
I mean, I don't think there's much else to say about it.
It was it was a low scoring game, but Chris was just not. It was still like it was still like at least what 20 points, a little over.
It was 27-point difference.
So it was.
So still pretty hefty. And I mean, I'll say a week where Mahomes only gets me 17. I'm lucky to still get the W there, so I feel okay about that. So hopefully better days are ahead, and yeah, overall lucky win for me. Needed it extremely badly. So, whew, just I'll just wipe my brow and look ahead to this week.
I'm kind of curious about is Will and Nate. I'm not sure how he would have picked this, but this ended up being a fucking really close.
It was
Close.
super close, and I mean, I think we were all probably rooting for Nate at this point.
We want to see him get that win.
We want to see him get that win, and Will's had
Will could probably shave
Will's
off.
been
Like
dude,
he
you don't
doesn't
need to
need
be
all
eight
the
and three.
wins.
Come
He
on.
could totally get like a top buy spot with an 8-4, like or you know whatever we end up finishing this season. Like you could give up a loss. I think
I agree.
Will's just
Yeah,
like fuck.
man, very unfortunate. This absolutely could have been Nate's week to win.
Hmm.
With that David Johnson situation, I can't recall how known it was if David Johnson was like supposed to play or you just it was unclear. So you're like, I think I have to play him. That's just a tough situation when you get an absolute zero from David Johnson. And
Ah,
I was high on David Johnson coming into this year. Like if he fell to me in the draft first round, I probably would have tried to swoop him up, and that would have been an absolute disaster.
dude,
He
I
had Thielen,
not even
who's
touched.
still
Yeah.
injured, and Brandon Cooks is out.
Hmm.
And then surprisingly, like LaShawn McCoy out of nowhere is a good running back last week, and Tariq Cohen has a good week. Like just hard to fault Nate's managerial decisions. It just things didn't work out the way they should have on paper.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's just. I mean,
Both
you got
quarterbacks put
Travis.
up dog shit.
Yeah, dude, both quarterbacks were horrible, and each person like kind of had a few people do something. Like for instance, Debo Samuel, for SF. Like, damn, let's see,
Yeah,
what did he do?
nice pickup
Oh
there.
my
He was just
God,
a
yeah,
reception monster, I think.
8 receptions, 134 yards. Yeah,
That's a
dude,
nice.
that's
Hey,
good.
talk about nice flex plays.
Yeah, that's really good. Um, Keenan Allen had another pretty decent game,
Yep.
even though fucking Rivers threw what like 4 interceptions.
Yeah, and then Ravens defense put the hurt on.
Oh, there you
Well, it's
go.
funny
Yep.
because it was Ravens D against his own quarterback, but still worked out okay for him.
I mean, he still got points, and it didn't cost him. It didn't cost him the win. Uh, Nate, on the other hand, it was pretty much just Travis Kelsey, Crowder, and Ridley that did
Yeah.
anything.
Otherwise, everybody else single digits and like bad single digits too.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, man, that's tough. That David Johnson, Tom Brady. I mean, any matchup where it comes down to basically a touchdown is the difference maker. It's hard to put the blame on one single thing because it's just anybody could have caught a run in one touchdown and that would have been the difference right there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was just it was. I bet if we were to look at Nate's season, he's had probably a lot of just bad luck. Not
Yeah, I mean, I think you got guys like Thielen who wouldn't have loved to snag Thielen as soon as they possibly could after the year he had last year,
dude. Yeah,
and
look.
it's just been so
It,
tough. Like, how many games has he missed this year?
Well, let's see. I'm taking a look at the numbers. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm
One,
sure it was the week
two,
he was
three,
injured.
four, four. He's missed 4 weeks, so I mean, actually not
Okay.
as many as I expected, but there's a game in there with 2.1. Like
Yep.
it's just been an odd year for him where he's actually had a decent amount of touchdowns, but just
It's
not
yeah.
not
It's
what just not
not
what
the
you
yards
expect.
and
Yeah,
not the receptions that he used to get, dude. He
yeah.
was just killing it for such a while. Um, that's just tough. Yeah, tough going for Nate.
Yep, but Will gets another win and keeps himself right in the hunt for the bye week.
hmm Speaking of another person in the hunt for a bye week, uh, who got himself beaten, that will be Mr. Joseph. Mr. First Place Joseph
Yeah,
ended up having a close matchup, but just fell up a little bit short to Buzzsaw Mish.
yeah. I was
Um,
really hoping for Joey in this, as I don't know if you were, but hopefully you were, because we both need Misha to take some L's here.
yes,
Here,
we do. We do. And Misha's just finding a way to keep trucking along.
that
Just,
Jimmy Garoppolo
God,
putting up
yeah, dude.
40 points.
I want to look at you. So he has been really inconsistent. So since let's see, week 8, 17, 37.9, 12, 39.7.
It's almost like an every other week situation with
Yeah.
Jimmy G.
So what are you
But
gonna do?
Misha played him the right week last week, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, he
He
benched Matt
benched
Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Good play.
Yeah. I'd say so. Not to say that Joey didn't have like some performers come on up. Like Dak put up because Russell was
Huge.
on bye. Huge game. Um Connor obviously got hurt. I didn't see much of the Pitt game. I did see the fucking end of it. Hope everybody else did.
Oh
Holy
my
fuck.
god, that was ridiculous.
No, I saw somebody put up a meme or a GIF of like NFL Blitz, and that totally was one of the fucking moves that you used to be able to do. Fucking just rip somebody's helmet off and fucking smack them over the head with it. Like,
That's
oh
so
my God,
funny.
Jesus. But I didn't see much. Nick Chubb didn't do all that great. But in that same game with Prescott, fucking Gallup. Oof.
Yeah, nice connection there. I mean, that was, fucking a third of his points just from those two guys right there. And Jared Cook got a little touchdown, so that's 10.8 from the tight end's nice, but everybody else just didn't really come through.
Patriots defense still doing Patriots
Yeah,
defense
that's
stuff.
true. They were nice, but yeah, like Tevin Coleman hasn't ever since that big like 40-point game. He's been kind of a stinker ever since then. Cooper Cup has been highly disappointing the last 2 weeks, and I'm sure Joey's not happy that Kareem Hunt is back in action, stealing some work away from Nick Chubb.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
And then James Conner just got knocked out with the injury. So James Conner's had quite the up and down season that I know Joey's been frustrated with. So I mean, 133 that'll get you some wins in a lot
He
of
would have
weeks,
beaten a
but
lot. He would have
it
beaten
would
a
be a
lot of
lot of
people
people for sure. But
this week. Yeah,
Misha did some nice stuff. I mean, man, Austin Eckler still, even with
Melvin coming
Melvin
back,
Gordon still like actually coming into form again. Like Eckler is
dude.
just a receiving machine.
Yeah, dude. Eckler is still the number 4 fucking running back right now in fantasy.
Man, yeah, that's surprising considering he can get that much work with two running backs there.
Dude, there was one game he had 15 receptions.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, this last week he had 8 receptions for 108 yards.
Man.
Yeah.
And then speaking of reception monsters, dear God, Michael Thomas, how like I just don't know how a receiver can get that many receptions when every defense knows that that's the guy that Breeze is going to be throwing to most often. Like, how does he still manage to consistently get more than 10 receptions a game? Like, he's on pace to shatter the single season reception.
Yeah, dude, look at I'm actually so let's see. He is so Michael Thomas is our number 1 wide receiver this year.
Yeah, he
Okay.
has not. He hasn't had a bad week. 15. No,
No,
no. 14.9 is his lowest
that's
week.
his lowest. That's his lowest. Jesus
Jesus
Christ.
fuck.
Oh my God. How about this? How many games have we played this year?
I guess 10 because most teams have had a bye.
10. Four of those games are team numbers for Michael Thomas.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. He's just
That's
so
six.
freaking consistent.
Yep. That's six that are over 20 points. 6 weeks out of 10 that are over 20 points. That's pretty fucking good.
Gotta love that.
Well, I mean, Misha, you're fucking son of a bitch. Got some players playing for you. Austin Eckler, Michael Thomas.
Joe
Um,
Mixon decided to have himself a game, even though Cincinnati's been just absolute garbage fire this year.
he's actually the last couple weeks. Oh wow, I haven't really even noticed. Last
I
three
haven't.
weeks, three
Jeez,
weeks he's
wow.
played. Yeah,
It's about
16.
17 points every week the last three
Yeah,
weeks. That's crazy.
yeah.
Man, he had
Wow.
30 carries in one game. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Gets
That's
multiple
insanity.
114 yards. Wow.
That's like really bad efficiency, 3.8 yards per carry. But if
Mm.
you're going to get the ball 30 times,
Might as well just
yeah, I'll take that.
maybe stack up some yards as you're going along, dude. Well, I would say I don't know about you. I know I am. I'm very worried about Misha. I don't think I'm
Yeah,
going to
I'm
play him
very worried
again,
about
but
him as well. I don't like that his team is rocking and rolling right now. Like like it's him, and then it's you and me, kind of
yep.
bringing up the rear, if you will, for the playoff spots.
Because if we go into our next matchup, John is also 6-5. Now he ended up losing this week to Nick, but you got really interesting setup when it comes to the standings. Going on over to this. Holy shit, Lamar Jackson. So are you ready to what is it? The bend the knee?
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, and Nick's been texting me about some other bets, like if Lamar Jackson goes
Goes
to
to
the
the Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl and is MVP, I'll have to do all these other things too. And so
Well, what is he gonna do if none of these things happen?
I don't know. I don't know. At that point, I was just like,
You
dude,
need to.
if you're already talking about Super Bowl MVP, like I don't know what to even say at this point. That's so
Well, I would take I
far
would take
away.
those. I would take those easily. I would take
Well,
Lamar Jack.
the thing
Like if
that made it just too easy for me is it was something like if Lamar Jackson wins Super Bowl MVP, will you drink a Smirnoff Ice and take a shot of tequila? And I'm like, dude, I fucking like tequila. Like that's not even that's not even a bad thing for me. So I wasn't even gonna like contest that in any way.
okay, I thought it was gonna be something more serious, but I would say that's fine. But dude, he is looking good. The last 3 weeks, 30, 39, 41.
Yeah, he's been a revelation, if you will, and just obviously the highlight reel is fucking insane for Lamar Jackson.
But I'm waiting for the three starting Ravens to bite him at some point in time because that's a lot of players going at once on one team. That's like basically riding a lot on that one game. You're putting your dollars on your Ravens, Nick, and I know you believe. So we'll see what happens. For fantasy, I believe it is viable. In real NFL, I don't know. So
I
Super
mean,
Bowl MVP,
I kind of wish we had Nick on the podcast because
who knows who's
this
getting
must
it.
be one of the best fantasy football enjoyment seasons that he's ever had before because I
I
mean
would
it's
say
pretty
probably.
obvious like he's banking on Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, Mark Andrews. He's so heavily invested in Baltimore on his fantasy team, and then Baltimore is doing some really nice things in the real NFL as well. Like he just doubled down and is just winning these hands. Like he must just be loving life.
Well, I mean, if Ravens are winning and his fantasy team is winning, I am sure Nick is all smiles.
Yeah, when they're coupled
Uh,
together, especially.
And I mean, shit, it's not like Mark Ingram is having a horrible season at
Hell
all.
no.
He's running back 10, but even still, it's not his bad games are not that bad, and he doesn't have very many of them at all. And when he has good games, they're good games. This one, 22.8. Nice game. Had some solid performances from, Carlos Hyde, Julio Jones, DJ Moore, Mark Andrews, another Raven had a good game. Some crap performances everywhere else, but when Lamar's putting up over 40 and John,
Well,
not
also
just,
just one more thing on Nick's team,
oh,
he had Devonte Adams and Chris Carson on the bench for bye weeks. So the fact that he could still put up 143, I mean, got to feel pretty good about that.
yeah, I'm sure he's feeling really good about, just like we were saying,
Yeah,
he's
all
probably,
of the above, all of the above working. But
uh,
yeah, John's team, just looking through, I mean, it's just a lot of like mediocre to decent performances, but no big performances.
no big performances. A couple big disappointments though. Sanu, I'm not sure if he was injured or not.
No, he wasn't. I think it was just. I think
Quiet
it's just a
game.
product of being in the Patriots offense and not being, like one of the staples like an Edelman. Like
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't know what's going to happen. Um, Fucking
And then
Edelman throwing a
Amari
touch,
Cooper, 6.1. You think that's Amari's lowest of the season?
probably.
Oh, it's not. Whoa.
No, it's
He
not.
had a 1.1.
Wow, one
Dear Lord.
catch.
But still, second worst game of the season, so
Yeah,
you're
that
not
hurts.
expecting that, that's for sure.
I mean, not to say that John, I mean, it's not a great performance as far as the season, like maybe average for all the teams is concerned, but this week he would have beaten a lot of teams, including
He would have
Phil.
beaten half the league, five
Yeah,
teams.
at least half the league. So there you go. But at the same time, it's just bad luck. You run into Nick, and Nick is smiling pretty at 8-3, and John is now at 6-5. But that really does kind of make it interesting because if we look at the standings, it is it's a pretty close tie for a lot of different people. You've got a three-way tie for first right now.
So
Joey
yeah,
is
the fight for the bye weeks is on.
mm,
Joey is got a nice healthy lead because of the points where he's over 100 points higher
yep,
than Will is. So
but
it's
he is
really
on
going to come down to W's for that one.
yeah. I mean, he's on a two-game losing streak.
He is on a 2 game losing streak, but at least he's got a little bit of cushion there. But
Mhm. He does.
he's not just, like he was 2 weeks ago sitting way out in first now, and all of a sudden he's got the dogs on his heels and they're right there.
Yep, they are. They're right there, and they're really, really like Will. I mean, Joey used to be up like 200 points over like everybody, and in this case, in some cases for most of the league, he still well is like 300 points over everybody. Will is not far behind. I mean, he has got like 100 and what, like 10, maybe a little bit less. But all Will needs is a couple good weeks and to catch Joey at like a bad week or two, and Will could easily take it in two. I don't know. I would say it's possible. You give Joey 2 bad weeks, give Will 2 good weeks. He could easily take it number one,
Yeah, no,
and
that
Joey falls.
yep, number one spot is well up for grabs for those guys right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of hard for Joey to lose a bye. I mean, Nick would have to perform his balls off the next couple weeks in order for that, I think, to take place. Um,
Yeah, some things would have to work in his favor for losses with those guys.
yeah. Um, but getting on into the next, so we have for uh, tied for, I guess, second, if we want to even call it that,
Well, it
at
kind
the
of
four
it
five
just goes
spot.
into like it's like there's like three tiers
Hmm.
of the standings. Like we just talked about, the first tier are all the guys that are fighting. They're already like they're guaranteed to make the playoffs at this point, but they're fighting for a bye week. And then you get into the second tier, which is I don't know if
It's
Phil
dude,
still classifies into that category,
I
I'm
would
not.
say he does. I would say he does because we still have 2 games left, and it's not like Phil is terribly far out from
That's true.
6 and 5.
And points wise, Phil is actually in a better place than
Oh,
you
yep.
and Amisha as well, and John also. So I guess he technically still is in it. So yeah, classify it all the way down. So there are 5 teams. One, two, three, four, 5 teams that are just fighting to stay in that playoff picture.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gasping for air. I'm trying to keep my head above water, and maybe even start to swim, maybe fly
I
out of the water
mean,
like
I would say
like a,
you're in a position where you can definitely take some control because I mean you're playing me this week, so if you get a win,
this is a
that's a double win for
huge
you.
this is a huge week for you and me.
Yeah, because
It,
whoever wins this week is also taking a leg up on one of their closest competitors.
yes, fucking podcast rival. Goddamn.
Whew. I know, and I'm not going to get to watch any of it, which honestly maybe is a good thing. Maybe I just need to let things happen as they're supposed to and not
Yeah,
actually watch it unfold.
I think that's probably fair. Absolutely. I think that's fair. So,
But so yeah, you've got Misha and John that
okay, 6 and
are
5,
top of the pack. They're 6 and 5, and then you've got me and you that are 5 and 6.
and then
Um,
little Phil at 4 and 7.
so okay, so I play you this week, so that's a huge matchup there. And then the week after, I play John. So I've
Oh,
got
dude.
2 absolutely critical matchups. Do you know who you play in the final week? I can't remember.
God, who do I play in the final week? It's not Nick, is it?
Let me peek that.
No, I play Chris.
Ah, okay. So Chris's team is very hobbled these days, so we'll see if he can kind of piece together a squad again.
Yeah,
That's looking pretty favorable for you, just where things are at right now. But let's
let's see.
see. Yeah, you play Chris, and then Misha plays Phil. So if Phil gets a win this week, that could be a major matchup at the end there as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty huge. Who's John playing?
This week?
Yeah, or I guess
Oh, John's playing Phil this week.
what about the next week?
I'm playing John.
Okay, so you're playing John the next week. I'm playing Chris the week after that. We've got Misha and Phil. Whew. I think that's pretty much it. Nick's going up against Nate. Joey and Will are fighting for the crown. Um,
Hello?
What?
this
Yo!
new it was yep. There we go.
It, is this Matthew Berry?
Oh, this is the
This is
fucking. No, it's not Matthew Berry, but this
the
is the podcast
talented, the
place.
very untalented Senor Roto.
Are we on the air?
Of course
Dude,
we
we
are.
are on the air right now, bro.
Woohoo!
Here. I need to go get another brewski, so you can step on in and take over while I go grab a drink.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good,
So
actually.
actually, you came in like maybe 4 minutes after I was just saying, man, I wish we had Nick on the podcast right now because this has got to be, if I'm betting, this has got to be one of the, for our league, probably one of your best or most enjoyable fantasy seasons. Is that something you agree with?
Without a doubt. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I'm loving it, dude. Oh my God. I just nut my pants every Sunday. It's great.
I'm so glad we get to end it with Nick's. So we were actually just we were having this conversation about you and your team, and you kind of getting on up there now, sort of like we're talking about the standings right now, and how you guys are all stuck at top, fighting for a bye week. How do you feel about that? I mean, you're pretty much in the playoffs guaranteed. What do you feel about fighting for that bye?
I feel my chances are pretty good. One major aspect in particular is Will and Joey play each other week 13.
Ooh,
So
wow, that's big.
someone's going to take a loss there. And if I could just win out, I'm in. So I kind of control my own destiny.
You do
And
play Nate week 13.
I do play Nate, and I play Misha this
Yeah,
week.
I'm rooting. I think Brian and I are both heavily rooting for you this
Yep, dude.
week.
Yeah, dude. You have to
Oh,
understand, Nick.
good.
We're rooting for you the rest of the way out, right? So you need to come up for us, okay? You need to fucking win these games that are important for you to win. So you get to work, okay?
Well, get your popcorn ready. Monday night, Houdini's coming out. Magic. I
What's going?
cannot
So
wait.
wait. So is that the? So which game? Oh, which game is that? Let me look at
That is the Ravens and the Rams on Monday night, and that will be
Oh wow,
a
that'll
huge
be
night for
interesting.
me. Yeah. So
Damn.
if the front runner MVP does his normal things, then I will just be busting another load.
Well, I was
Wow,
asking
he's the
about
number
that.
one QB right now. I can't believe
Yeah,
it.
he is.
Oh, Sean, are you ready to eat that crow at the end of this season?
I'll wash that crow down with some Smirnoff Ice if I have to.
Please, yes.
Okay, let me go grab my drink. I'll be back.
Yeah, man, that bet is seeming more and more realistic for me losing every week now. I can't. It's just Lamar is just putting a show on out there.
Oh, he's just running his freaking pants off. He's Forrest out there. He just spins and razzle dazzles. It's awesome. I love watching it every week. This has got to be one of my favorite fantasy seasons of all time.
Are you? Do you have pieces of the Ravens in any of your other leagues?
I got the same lineup.
Oh my
basically.
god, dude! You just
Yes.
I
oh,
doubled
you just
down.
doubled all in.
I actually I picked this guy's pocket in my other league. I traded for Lamar. He drafted him just like 2 picks ahead of me. I was so bummed, and I had to give up my 3rd round pick, but it was worth it. I traded away Amari Cooper to get him, and I've been happy with it. It was a sacrifice, but it's working in my favor.
What week was that, or how long ago was that?
That was after week 4. So
Okay,
I've had him the majority of the time since he's turned up. He's getting a lot of like coverage now, which he didn't back then. They lost. They were like, that was the last loss I think they had was back then. They were on like a 7-game win streak right now, or 6-game.
Oh
win
yeah,
streak.
I mean his stock has just risen so much since early on in the season when it was like he was looking good for a while, then kind of came back down to earth, and then just has kept the train moving ever since then. It seems like.
Yeah, seriously, I love it. And his press conferences is like his shirts are nobody cares, work harder. It's so great because after the playoffs, when the Chargers beat him last year, he got slammed, and I think the humility really got to him, and he turned up this year, and I'm just fucking oh man.
Man, it's so different because I remember watching a good bit of the Raiders last year because I had their running back, Gus. What was his name? Gus
You mean
something.
The Ravens, yeah, Gus Edwards.
I mean, yeah, the Ravens, yeah, Gus Edwards. So I was watching those games, and it just pissed me off that like Lamar was just not who he is today, and it was really hindering the running back situation there. And then it's just like this year, he's a completely different person.
He is, yeah. I have to eat some crow myself. Part of the reason that he is a different person is because we had Flacco last year, and the team was like formulated around Flacco, and so the offense was totally just centered around him. Whereas this year, all the packages are like made for Lamar, so they run stuff with like, I don't know if you've seen on TV, but they call it like the Heisman package, where they have 3 Heisman winners in the backfield running the option. So it's like Robert Griffin, Mark Ingram, and Lamar just running around back there, and it works every time. It's tailored to his features this year. It's nice.
Damn, I would say there's a lot of double entendres in there. Like, I think your package is made for Lamar Jackson.
Action Jackson.
Oh my god,
that sounds about right.
That's some fucking funny ass shit. All right, Nick, since you're here with us and we're going to be talking about all these matchups. Do you have some predictions that you'd like to throw on in? Like, for instance, if we were going to get into whose matchups do we have this week?
Did you guys already do the matchups?
No,
No,
we're about to get into them right now. We're probably not
it's
going to go like super deep into it
no
because
super
we've actually
deep.
been going for a while right now. But
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a little bit long, but even still, having you on, it's nice. We'll try to go through these really quick and make some picks as well.
Okay.
what do you think? So Brian and I are playing each other this week.
Okay, let's look at that.
You
It's
have your
actually easier to look at the matchups on my phone than it is on the website. I
yeah.
just
I
cannot
actually
stand
I
the
agree
website.
with that. I do agree with that, which is unfortunate, but
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. So you're rolling out Mean Green this week, Sean.
well, I got my guy on a bye, so I
Yeah.
picked up Darnold last week to not use a waiver claim or anything for him just to make sure because he's been rolling lately.
He has been, yeah, and he's playing Oakland at home, so that's a nice matchup.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. But yeah, I'm doing some filling in this week for sure. Some new pieces in there.
So I got to ask, do you feel more confident about your running backs? I know you were asking me earlier in the week about possible trade options. Do you feel better about it now?
No, I still feel the same as I did before. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any trades happening at this point, but I really don't like that I've got people like Cole Beasley, Taylor Gabriel, and James Washington that are like I wish I had at least one more like maybe not necessarily like stud piece, but like somebody that you can believe in anymore. Where like if all of those three guys get under 10 points, I won't be surprised. But if a few of them like if one of them busts out, that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. It sucks that Diggs is on a bye this week and Breda's kind of hurt. So, yeah, I know you really need them too this week.
I know. And Brian, you got your full squad, yeah?
Except for Evan Ingram and
That's
Alshon.
true. Yeah, that's
So
true.
that
Yeah.
so both of them are like Evan Ingram is more doubtful than Alshon is, but both of them are like more than likely not to play this week. So I'm going to be rolling with. No, I don't know. We'll see.
You got to
What's
feel
interesting?
good about your wide receivers, Brian, after last week. I mean,
Oh my God.
DJ Shark and John Brown went off, and
Yeah.
the PPR master of Edelman threw a touchdown a couple weeks ago.
Dude, that was actually so Chris and I were watching that game and it was just fucking like watching Edelman like throw a touchdown. It was just like, well, I guess he's gonna get his points some way. Like,
Yeah.
dude, Edelman, dude, I don't know what to say about him. I don't think he's like he's like the 11th ranked wide receiver in our league this year. So he's not like crushing it, but he's definitely not hurting me. Like he's just been
Yeah,
he's been exactly what I feel like I paid for. It just Mr. Consistent, and that's
all.
what I want. I just want a like consistent 15 points. If that's 12 to 15 is his floor, then I'm happy with that.
yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
I agree with that. Well, Brian, I'm definitely picking your team here. And not even just for any like voodoo weirdness, but like you got a pretty strong squad right now and I feel like I'm definitely piecing some things together.
Well, you do have a history of a good piecing. I'm just hoping that it just maybe that you come up a little bit short because I feel I really, really need the win this week because you are. I mean, even though we've got it's just me and you at 5 and 6, and then we got Phil behind us at 4 and 7.
Yep.
You are very well ahead in the points, and I know you said earlier like, oh, it must
That's
have felt
true.
good.
Oh yeah, that was the thing because coming into last week, I was like 150 points ahead of you,
Yeah,
and then now all of a sudden you're within like 50 points of me, which is you could catch up on points with that. Like this matchup could be the one that you catch up on. So
And I guess I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm needing fantasy gods. What do you need me to do? I will do it. I will kill every fucking baby I
Oh
see,
my god.
dude.
So we're gonna see you and Joey in hoods, like in a
Yeah.
cave.
I
Yeah,
know,
exactly, dude.
seriously.
Dude, it was some like fucking crazy like chants going on in the fires in like the middle of a fucking like ring or something like that. That's probably it. But whatever Joey's doing, he's doing it right because he's just been fucking killing this league for 10 fucking solid years pretty much. So uh we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping for a win myself. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself the nod and say, Fantasy Gods, I'm looking to you. I need you, and I will now give you a fantasy bowl.
Well, I am going to only pick your squad as in voodoo, and I'm going to put the voodoo bust on a couple of your guys. And the voodoo bust is going to consist of a tough matchup with Aaron Jones at San Francisco, Randall Cobb
That is
with New England,
Dude, so that and that's
early at Baltimore, and I'm gonna say voodoo on those guys and give you a curse.
Okay, like that.
Yeah.
That money that I've paid to Nick is really looking good right now.
Thanks for that, Venmo.
Yeah. This matchup will be interesting too, just in that my whole team plays in the morning games.
Oh my God, they do.
So I'll know exactly where I'm at, and then Brian, you've got at least one Monday night guy with Gurley, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be in the wait and see mode over in Mexico.
You're gonna be in Mexico?
Yeah, I'm going to Mexico Friday night for like almost a week. So I'm not gonna get to watch these games, but I'll be following along as much as I can.
What do Mexicans eat on Thanksgiving? They eat churros.
What'd you say?
Churros?
Dude, I don't know if that's a real joke or not, but I also love fucking churros, so I like to hear that.
If they eat churros for Thanksgiving, I'm going to Thanksgivings.
Dude,
I
want
know
some churros.
personally. Tina loves churros. She's always trying to get her hands on one.
True.
Yeah, my looking at my matchups, they're kind of spread on out throughout the weekend. I mean, I don't have anybody on Thursday, and I don't think you do either.
Which is always nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got a lot of morning games, and then a couple afternoons, one Sunday night game, and a Monday night game.
So we may not know until Monday.
Nope, may not.
All right, let's move over to Nick, since we got you and it's a big matchup, let's go to you and Misha.
It's a huge one, especially for us.
And I gotta say, before we talk about this matchup, I've been hitting up a lot of people, and I'm trying to get my slimy raccoon hands on Michael Thomas, and Misha will just not. He will not even
give us
like.
So
do
you know why? You want to know why? You want to know why he won't give it up? Sean and I were talking about this earlier in the podcast because Michael Thomas is the #1 wide receiver this year.
He's killing it in every stat, pretty much.
He is destroying, dude. The amount of fucking receptions that he has, like, dude.
He has everything. He's got receptions, yards. I think he's got touchdowns too.
So what are you gonna? So what are you offering him, Lamar Jackson?
That's what I was gonna say. Give us a little sampling of like what are you trying to throw out there?
I was trying to throw out some depth of my team. He will have
depth for Michael Thomas. Misha's in a playoff push, and you want to offer him depth for one of his best players.
A slew of a king's ransom of handcuffs.
Yeah, pretty much. He actually said, unquote, hard pass.
So is that open for negotiation or?
Apparently not.
Were you? Let's put it this way: were you offering up any of your Ravens?
No.
Oh, there you go, dude. Oh my God. So see, I feel like if you want to be taken seriously in a trade, you got to come up with some serious fucking juice. You ain't stripping the best wide receiver in the league for fucking some depth. You know, you got to be offering up some juice.
Yeah, you gotta love those 5-for-1 trades.
Yeah, I was like, Carlos Hyde, and he said no.
Carlos denied.
Denied. Love it. fuck. Okay, so getting into this Misha and you matchup, trying to trade a player before the deadline, the week that you're playing him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, this sounds so good. All right. So looking at this, I mean, dude, Michael Thomas is the only fucking piece that is like really going to beat out one of your pieces. Uh, I mean, I don't know why they're rating Joe Mixon higher than Mark Ingram. I don't care if he's playing the Rams. I definitely would take Ingram over Mixon.
I think Mixon's got a tough matchup too. I like this the Steelers this week
Yeah,
against
plus
Cincinnati.
Steelers and Cincinnati, those are like gutty, like just gritty matchups too.
The Steelers make me nervous though after that last game. Like, can they even provide any offense at all, or are they just fucking yelling bitch and shit like that, and fucking rousing people up and getting hit on the head and shit? It's fucking nuts.
I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen in that Cleveland game too, since I mean they're going to be going up against Miami, so it's going to be a kind of a cake matchup. But after
I hope
all
so.
that, like happened, man, that's going to be
You
interesting.
do have he's got Matt Ryan and you've got Julio, so that's always kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm glad that they got rid of Sanu. Calvin Ridley has definitely gotten a boost, but nothing's really changed with Julio. He just doesn't get a touchdown. He'll get like 90 yards.
Yeah,
At least you don't have to play against Austin Eckler, which is nice.
that's a huge thing.
That is nice.
Austin Eckler. Yeah, we were talking about him earlier, dude. Ranked 4 running back, just killing it. Just a reception monster. He had one game when he had 15 receptions.
Yeah, old man Rivers can't throw it that far this year.
No, dude, old man Rivers can't fucking throw much of anything other than picks this year, it seems.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I'm guessing that you're feeling pretty confident about this week, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like Misha's got more stuff on like bye, and I don't think Kittle's going to play also, so I think he's going to have to take him out. So I have more of my full squad. I wish Sanders was 100%, but I don't trust him, so I'm keeping him out. Okay. And but I pretty much have my full squad ready to go. So, and they've got decent matchups as well.
I think I feel better about where your team is at right now. You've got the full squad there. Yeah, you don't have to play against Eckler. Looks like he's going to throw Slayton into that wide receiver 3 slot there. I like your quarterback a good bit more. I just think there's a lot more to like on your side right now, and really hoping that rings true, because would love to see Misha get the loss here. So I'm definitely I'm picking you, Nick.
Are you, if Misha loses, will that give you both an opportunity to get into a playoff spot?
Yeah, because Brian and I are both 5-6, and Misha and John are 6-5. So if one of us gets a win and Misha gets a loss, then we're tied for the same record, and then you're looking at points there. So that would be big, because since Brian and I are playing each other, one of us is going to get a win, and so if Misha gets a loss, one of us is going to be really coming up big in the rankings, in the standings. I mean,
Misha, for both of you to get in, Misha would have to lose out, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Oh, for both of us to get in.
Well, John. See, we were going into the standings earlier, so John is involved too. So you, Joey, and Will are all basically fighting for buys. You guys are locked in playoffs pretty much, and just fighting for buy spots. Then there's the other tier. Then there's all of us. There's Misha, John, Sean, and me. So we're 6. There's 6-5, 6-5, and 5-6, 5-6. Phil is also kind of in the conversation at 4-7 because his points are there, and if he wins out, then he's pretty much right there. So we're all basically fighting for 4, 5, and 6. Those playoff positions.
And that's pretty realistic for Phil if Phil wins out, because Phil's playing John and then he plays Misha the next week.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he could really,
He could
he's
sneak
got to
in.
take it into his own hands because those are going to be big wins for him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, so it's definitely very shaky about how it's gonna end up playing out near the end, but this is definitely crunch. This is definitely crunch time.
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I, I mean, I think unfortunately, I think with this last week's loss and the fact that he is pretty much at the bottom for points, I think Chris is
Oh, dude, now Chris is done,
is done.
unfortunately.
And Nate, I think he was done a little bit ago, a little higher in Kristen points. It was nice that he did get a couple wins because he was going winless for a while. But yeah, unfortunately, he's cooked.
All right, well let's keep this train moving because this is probably gonna be the longest podcast that we've done all year.
Oh shit! All right, let's wrap this on up. So
So
we've
let's
gotten into
go.
our match,
Oh
right?
yeah. So what do you pick, Brian, for Nick's
Let's
matchup?
let's see. Oh no, I picked Nick.
Oh, you did. Nick, you picking yourself probably.
Yeah, I always do.
Let's look at Phil and John's matchup because that's another
Big,
huge one.
yeah.
Get this thing loaded up here.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Ooh.
I'm
I
really
think
not sure.
I think Aaron Rodgers and that he's got the San Francisco defense and Phil's got Aaron Rodgers, so that will be a big game.
That's true. Yeah, that's interesting.
Dude,
The defense.
I
Oh my
mean,
God. Look at his
it's
buys.
just, yeah, dude. I was just looking at that. Like Phil is catching John at the worst week.
Holy smokes! Yeah. Wow. No
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin. No Hunter Henry. No Melvin. Whew.
Yeah, there's a lot of big pieces that are gone.
Damn, that is big right there. But I mean, John's got some decent pieces in there, though. I mean, he's throwing Darius Geis in there, which
Yep.
could be pretty good.
He does have Ryan Griffin. Now I don't know. Is that the guy that's go actually playing?
Yeah, he's actually been pretty good the last
Yeah,
couple
he
weeks.
just had that big
20
game.
something, yeah.
Yeah, 20 something points. Okay. So so he does actually have a tight end to possibly
But
plug in.
Phil doesn't have Tyreek. That's a big
No,
loss.
that's a big one.
He just lost Marlon Mack, which is a big
Hmm?
loss. He still doesn't
Yep.
have Austin Hooper back. So like those are some
Uh,
pretty hefty pieces he's missing as
T
well.
Ty is still out, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still out. Probably not going to play this week.
And I'm pretty
It's a
sure
Thursday night game, I think.
Yeah, it is.
and Woods is not going to play, and he has him in there too.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Robert Woods. Yeah, it looks like he might not play again. So he may have to. God, he doesn't even have anybody he could throw in there. Well, I guess
Oh, he'd have to drop.
yeah, he could
Well,
move.
he has
He
an
could
empty.
move Zach Pascal into the wide receiver and have a flex spot open. So I don't know.
Yeah.
He'll have to do something.
Hmm.
Man, this one's tough though because they're both kind of crippled, but they both also have some really good pieces in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this Brian's nipple guarantee closest matchup of
Love
the
it.
week.
Dude, that's a
Perfect.
good
I love
that's a
it.
good call. That's a good
I
call.
love it. I love it. I love it. Certified.
Certified.
Well, who are you gonna pick it for? You have to say it though.
Well, he's picking. That's the closest matchup of the week.
But you're not picking as far as who's going to win.
I'm gonna sling it towards Phil because he caught John on a perfect time, I think.
I agree.
I also agree with that, but I think that's a good pick for Nick for closest matchup of the week.
I certify that.
Um, so this is the third matchup where we've all picked a set. So maybe it'll be voodoo the whole way.
It could be. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on how obvious it is. Let's maybe get into one that might not be so. Well, shit. let's get the another obvious one out of the way. Let's just go ahead and look at Joey and Nate's really quick. I'm just saying, looking at this, Joey pretty much has his full squad. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on with Cooper Kupp. Maybe he might or might not show up. James Conner is still a question mark, so maybe he pop, but that's in a flex spot, so Joey can pop in, whoever he wants.
Does
No
he
David
even
Johnson.
know though? Can Joey connect to the internet? Do they have internet in Hobbit Land?
I know he's like living out of a van right now.
If he finds a wizard, I think he'll be able to fucking maybe like make a switch if he needs to, but we'll see what happens. But Nate, I mean, not only does he have a couple buys that doesn't really have anybody to slot on in for, like doesn't have anybody to slot in for Kelsey, doesn't have anybody to slot in for I guess he could possibly nope. McCoy's on fucking buy. Could possibly put in Tariq Cohen, I guess.
Well, he's got 2 running backs in his flex spot, so you could move one of them up.
Okay, well there you go. So damn, dude, Nate's got a lot of running backs.
Yeah, Jesus, a lot of running back depth. I mean, I don't know how you can't pick Joey in this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious for this one. Joey is it's full strength right now, except for a couple question marks. But other than that, yeah, I would say Joey.
Sweep it.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was just too heavy on one side.
Well, what about Chris and Will? It might be a little one-sided. I don't know. Let's take a look. Chris is going out with Ryan Tannehill.
Chris is on a rough stretch.
Yeah. Obviously, he's got Godwin.
Oh, yeah. Chris is on a 7-game losing streak right now.
Yeah, 7-game losing streak. Mm-hmm. That's painful.
Let's see. Any bye week situations here?
Yeah.
I mean,
for Will.
On Will's side, there's some pretty big buys there.
He doesn't have Keenan. Christian Kirk has actually been pretty decent. Like had a couple big games, especially that 137 game where he had 3 touchdowns. That was huge. Kenyon Drake actually had been pretty nice.
I'm gonna go with Chris's team this week.
Ooh, interesting. Let's take a look at the matchups. Saquon going up against Chicago. Debo going up against Green Bay. Devontae Parker against Cleveland. I don't know. It's not like his matchups are horrible. But interesting. He's starting Josh Gordon. Okay. Starting Zach Ertz. Got McLaurin from that trade.
I know, and I'm gonna put my nipple trade guarantee on.
There's no
McLaurin.
there's no nipple trade guarantee. You have to make up your own guarantee if you're gonna start coming up with some things.
I'll call it a head scratching guarantee for McLaren gets a TD this weekend. Has a big game.
A head scratcher, eh?
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Yeah, I guess you would, huh? Okay. I'm thinking about it. Okay. But are you gonna also pick Chris as well?
Did you guys already pick?
I picked. I am going with Chris.
I think this is going to be pretty close.
Well, you could do the certified. What was it called, Sean?
God damn it! I can't even keep up with these anymore.
Well, I thought you had it written down.
I do have it written down. Well, we've got Sean's whiskey whistle closest matchup. We've got Brian's certified guaranteed lock of the week closest matchup. We've got Brian's nipple guarantee most interesting. We've got Nick's nipple certified closest and Nick's head scratching call of the week.
Yeah, we got a lot of body parts this week.
Yeah,
we're fucking building a little Dr. Frankenstein going on over here.
Picks, okay. So I guess I am gonna. I'm just gonna go with that top tier, like Deshaun, Saquon, Derrick Henry, Kenny Galladay. That's a nasty little pairing that looks too nasty. I'm gonna go with Will.
All right.
I'm also going to take Chris. I think Galladay is on a slide with Drekel or whatever that guy's name is.
Mm-hmm.
I also think Barkley's on a slide.
He is
Watson,
coming up against Chicago.
I don't know what's going to happen after watching Watson last week. I mean, he should have a better game, but I'm not feeling confident. I'm not feeling confident in that line. I think that's going to be a really close game there. So I am going to take Chris's team with with a head scratching trade guarantee.
All right.
All right.
It's in the books.
Sweet.
Well, shit, Nick. Thanks for just jumping on here. It's fucking great. Any last thoughts or last words that you have for the league this year so far?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I hope next year we can like do more gatherings. Because I
Yep.
missed out. I missed out on the gathering for Oktoberfest. I missed that one. I was super bummed, and we didn't get to do a live draft this year. So I'm hoping, next year we can get together and drink some beers.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm in on that. That's big time right there. We need to make that happen.
Yeah, do some fucking drunk trade talk.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's what it
Yeah.
would take to actually pull the trigger. To get some whiskey whistles and some fucking nipple guarantees and some trade talks. This is what fantasy football is all about.
Fuck yeah, dude. Friends, fantasy, and beers.
FFB, Friends Fantasy Beers.
Yeah.
Simple and easy enough. And I would say with that, we'd probably be good to say to sign off and say enjoy your fantasy, enjoy your friends, and enjoy your beers, everybody.
Fuck yeah.
Cheers to that.
I'm down with that.
All right.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers, guys. Till next time.
Late as.